Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. A quick info before we begin. Today's video has two stories and both of them have updates. Now let's get started with the first one. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user Lou's Grapefruit. I, 24 female, made a fake Tinder, matched with my boyfriend, 26 male, and he wants to meet up. I am not 100% innocent, I know that. I'm a psychopath and I regret doing this whole thing, so don't even try to comment, "You're weird and deserve this." We've been together since college and it just feels so effed up that he wasted so much of my time. I was on my boyfriend's phone and saw that he had Tinder. I brought it up and he insisted that it was old and he just forgot to delete it. Well, I saw it again a few weeks after, but I didn't say anything. I told him before and he obviously didn't care enough to get rid of it, so saying anything was pointless and I was just wasting my breath. I told my friend and she's a little crazy, but I take full responsibility for this. So she brought up the idea of making a fake Tinder and matching with him and seeing if he replies. So I used her phone. I never used Tinder, so I didn't know how it worked exactly, but he didn't have her number and I didn't want him to find out it was me. I found some girl's random pictures, made a fake name and everything, waited a few days. He sends Vanessa, my girl's fake name, a message. He's flirting and being funny. It really hurt at first. I cried and it felt like I had discovered murder or something. My hands were all shaky and I had this horrible feeling in my chest. Well, I got over it and hated him. I continued messaging him and acting normal in real life. He is really into Vanessa, lol. She's hot and funny and she likes beer and Marvel movies. Anyway, he's talking dirty and says all these things he wants to do to her and what he wants her to do to him. Vanessa's totally up for it. So I have a few options. 1. I show up and tell him I was Vanessa all along, I dump him. 2. I coincidentally run into him, freak him out a little, and then reveal the truth and ask him when his date is showing up. And 3. Text him screenshots of his messages with Vanessa and tell him it's over. Well, OP, there's also options number 4 and 5. Number 4 would be you expose him to everyone as the scumbag that he actually is, and you break up with him, dump him, delete him from your phone and everything and move on with your life. And number 5 is you just dump him. You tell him that you know for a fact that he wants to cheat on you and that you just don't need to talk to him anymore and get him out of your life and get over him. I'm not saying it's easy to do this, I'm saying there are options. Now, if you want to take the petty route, maybe you'd want to mess with him for a little bit and then dump him. The problem here, OP, is that you could get sucked into your own game, because it could be a lot of fun in the beginning, but then it can also mess up with your psyche, because this Vanessa character that you're creating might start to feel real even to you. And then another unhealthy thing that could happen is that you would start comparing yourself to Vanessa, a fake character. That's not good. So, if I was in your situation, I would expose those screenshots of his talks with Vanessa. And the thing is, you don't have to say where you got them from. If he asks you, do you really owe him that kind of an explanation? No, you don't. So just release the screenshots, expose him as the scumbag cheater that he is, and try to move on with your life. And what do you guys think about this whole mess? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. R2D2 says, if you let on you were Vanessa all along, he's probably going to see you as crazy and believe that he dodged a bullet with you leaving him. However, if you break up with him through the screenshot method, you won't seem crazy. Then, never respond to him as Vanessa again. Have Vanessa completely ghost him. He'll feel dumb as F for giving up someone who actually cared for him for someone who was just bored and wanted to talk for a bit. Make him have to experience loneliness and regret. And OP responds, love this idea. Psychological warfare. Somebody who let their cat type their username says, you could always go with the route of that someone from Tinder or a girl named Vanessa hit you up when they saw your boyfriend's profile and screenshotted you messages. Why? Gives you proof and an out without explaining everything to him. Just as fair warning that usually guilty people will try to turn it on you if you do tell him everything. It asked how you made a fake profile and are crazy, or he knew all along, blah blah blah. And Deleted says, I hope you read this. Best way to get back at him, keep talking to him as Vanessa. Get his hopes up big time. Like so big it's not even funny. break up with him about something unrelated. Keep talking to him as Vanessa for a week. He won't be emotional about your breakup because he is so excited for Vanessa and the excitement of a new relationship. Then effing ghost him and watch him squirm as he loses what he thought could have been the love of his life. After a month, tell him it was you. Tongue out, smiley face. You know him inside and out. Use this to your advantage. Make him love Vanessa so he is destroyed when he realizes he loved you all along and can't be with you anymore. Cigarette and cool, smiley face. I don't know why, but okay. And Opie responds, this is super badass and I know I've been so effed up already, but this seems too cruel. I don't know. Additional information from Opie's comments. I catfished him at first as a little experiment and I told myself that if he replied, then I'd break up with him. I do not want my boyfriend to be texting girls on dating apps. I don't do that, so I expect the same sort of respect. But just texting wasn't enough to incriminate him, and I was wondering, maybe he just wanted to talk. And I needed to see if they'd meet up. And this mother effer was like, OMG, yeah, I need to see you. All enthusiastic and crap like a little puppy. Screw him, I'm over whatever we were. I know some people are saying that I should worry about my own health and revenge isn't healthy, etc. I already dealt with this mentally. I went through the breakup, I mourned, I cried, and I knew it was over. I am mentally checked out and just going through the motions of living with him at this point. Honestly, he doesn't deserve to be broken up so easily. That is way too nice and he doesn't deserve that. Okay, well the community gave OP what I would sarcastically call very, very healthy options on how to deal with this, and OP has already told us that she's mentally checked out and she just wants to mess with him or F him up a little bit because he doesn't deserve to be broken up with so easily. Again, I don't agree with these options. What I would do is expose him as a cheater and walk away. But this isn't my story, so it's time that we move on to the update to see how this story ends. But before that, of course, here's another one of my playlists for you guys to enjoy after this video. Now let's see what happened in the update. I just want to say my previous post was deleted and I was told not to post an update until I contacted them, and when I did, I never got a response. So F it, I'm posting an update. I got a lot of incredible advice, way more than I expected. You guys are so badass, holy crap. So creative. I thought I was some mastermind until I read your replies. You guys are evil geniuses. Anyway, I thought it over and tried to come up with the best idea for us. As much as recording his reaction and posting it online would be funny, I would never do that. So I continued talking to Chad. Not his real name, but he has a douchebag name like that. Not gonna post it, but I should have known. As Vanessa. He was really looking forward to meeting up. It was kind of funny, but also made me feel like crap how excited he was for some other girl. It was weird because if I didn't do this experiment, I never would have figured it out. He was acting 100% normal. I followed the advice of those who said to arrange a date and never show up. He left that day and I asked him where he was going. He said he was going to hang out with his friends or something. My blood was boiling, but I told him to have fun and gave me a kiss and left like everything was normal. Am I ever gonna trust another guy? I have no idea, but he is an excellent liar. I wonder how long he was fooling me, but it doesn't really matter anymore. That one comment that told me to make him drive hours to meet Vanessa really spoke to me, since he is in love with his car and it would kill him to increase the mileage for no reason. He ended up going. He texted Vanessa he was on his way and she was all like, same here, OMG, can't wait to see you. He should have known it was fake. No girl as cool as Vanessa would be that excited for him. Anyway, while he was driving out to a different area code, I had my girls over and we were packing up all my crap quickly. I just wanted to finish up and get out of there as soon as possible, in case he came home for some reason. So I sent him a quick Vanessa text telling him she was gonna be a little late. We dropped off my stuff at my friend's house and went out to a bakery. We reread all of his and Vanessa's texts and pictures and crap. I cried a little while eating my cake. We made fun of his sexy pics. He thought he was some hot crap, trying so hard to impress Vanessa. I am repulsed by him. He is objectively handsome, but the sight of him makes me want to vomit. So he was stood up. My crap was out of there. Vanessa apparently had something come up last minute and she was so sorry and promised to meet up soon and sent a few sexy pictures to hold him over. He told her not to worry and that he knew a great restaurant a bit closer to him for next time. He got home and texted me where I was. Our apartment looked empty and he thinks we were robbed or something. I told him nope, not a robbery. I took all my things and I'm not coming back. He asked why. I said I knew he was on Tinder and cheating on me and I couldn't risk STDs. Didn't even wait for a response. Block and delete. And I know he's a piece of crap, but I cried when I deleted him for good. A bit after I broke up with him, Vanessa sent him a text asking if this restaurant would be good for next week. He took a while to reply and I thought maybe he'd delete his account or do something, but then he said it was perfect. Vanessa is slowly but surely losing interest and he is trying hard to get her back, but I don't think she's into it anymore. Sorry, Chad. They're supposed to be meeting up tomorrow. She'll ask him to order a couple of drinks and a steak probably. Vanessa has expensive tastes. And she's not gonna show up. It's fine, he probably has a ton of other Tinder girls he's hooking up with, he'll be okay. But I'm so done with him. I am thinking of just deleting Vanessa's account right now and not standing up to him again. I'm kinda conflicted with this update. I think it was a good thing that you broke up with him and you moved your things out and you got him out of your life. However, OP, I kind of see an orange flag with you and Vanessa. You should have deleted that account as soon as you had enough proof or enough knowledge that he was cheating on you. But the way you talked about this character in your update, like she's actually a real person, that worries me a little bit. Particularly the part where you say that no girl as cool as Vanessa would be that excited for him. OP, Vanessa doesn't exist. You created her to be perfect for him. So be very careful with that. And on that note, I'm gonna wish you all the very best in the future. Hopefully you don't turn into somebody who mistrusts anybody that could be in a relationship with them. What Chad did was scummy, but that was Chad's actions, not everybody else's. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post that, like I said in the beginning of the video, also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user Roommate Issues. Me, 22 female, with my roommates, 20s male. 3 months. They have told me I'm not allowed guests to stay overnight, mostly men. I've been living with my roommates for 3 months now. I knew them for about a year before moving in and I thought they were pretty cool, but I don't know now. They've known each other for years, since high school. Anyway, in the first month, I brought someone home from town and he ended up staying the night. One of my roommates saw him leave in the morning and told the other one, and they kind of gave me crap for a while, but eventually they got over it, or so I thought. The next time I had a friend, girl, stay over the night and we watched movies. I asked if I could have her over and they both said that's fine, but complained afterward that we had made too much noise and that they didn't want that friend over again, night or day, because she laughed too loudly. She does, but banning someone from the house because laughing? I said fine, whatever, and we've done movie nights at her place since. I've recently been seeing this guy though for about a month and he stayed over 3 times since then. The first night, they thought it was a one-night stand thing again and gave me crap. Second night, they kind of seemed annoyed and one said we had been using the bathroom too much. His room is right next to it. I don't think we had, but I said okay. But they didn't say I couldn't bring him over again. The third night, they told me he wasn't allowed over again because it was their place and he used the bathroom too much and they could hear us having sex all night. We had sex once and it was in the morning, so I don't really know what they were hearing. Also, he only used the bathroom once and I told him to be really quiet and he was. But they say they don't want me bringing people over anymore and that I can go to the person's house if I'm gonna keep doing it. I can get it if it was for safety, like if I was bringing random guys into the house, but for friends and a guy I've been seeing? There is another flatmate, a girl, who is always at her boyfriend's, but she was there one night and said she didn't hear anything and she is right next to my room, so I think they may be making crap up. They bring guys over and play Xbox till like 3 in the morning and their friends pass out on the couch. I'm getting pretty annoyed with all the hypocrisy. I would move but can't afford to move out right now or to live on my own, but are they being reasonable? Am I being a bad roommate? I was way worse with my other flat, brought home guys all the time, and no one ever complained. How can I go about making them more okay with me having people over, or do I just have to deal with it? Well, OP, in my opinion, I don't think you need to deal with this. What kind of contract did you sign with these guys that say that you can't bring people over? Like, did you sign a contract with them that says that they get to dictate the house rules? Now, I'm sure there's something like a roommate agreement that you guys can go over, but the fact is, if they're also bringing people that pass out in the living room, you're allowed to bring someone that stays in your room with you. And if they don't like the sound of other people coming to a flat share, well then they should maybe get an apartment for themselves. All of this to say, OP, is I don't think they get to control what you can or can't do, so you should just ignore them and keep going on with your life. And what do you guys think about this whole thing? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's move on to those community comments to see what they said. Sissy Jones says, go by whatever the lease says. You pay to live there just as they do. As long as none of the people you invite over decide to move in suddenly, you're fine. And OP responds, nothing about it in the lease, but since I have to live with them for at least a couple more months, do I just say I'm gonna keep doing it, deal with it? Or is there some way I can do it so they don't get pissed off? Hit Record says, your roommates are a bunch of prats. The whole you can't have people over thing is ridiculous in and of itself, but the floozy shaming when you have someone over, that's not on. It also speaks volumes about the kind of people you're living with. I'd be looking to move if you can. I can't see the situation magically turning into a respectful, inclusive one simply by a way of conversation. Can you get someone else in to take your part of the lease? And OP responds, yeah, I'm gonna start saving so I can afford the deposit on a new place and fund something where the roommates are a little more chill. I really didn't think they were like that at all. They know I did this kind of thing when I lived elsewhere, so I really don't understand. Thanks for your advice. A Little Dandy says, ignore them to be honest. If your lease doesn't prohibit guests, then have at it. Your housemates don't seem to have a problem with making you uncomfortable in your shared home, so why should you extend them the same courtesy? And OP responds, yeah, I think I'm just gonna start saving and looking for new places, but in the meantime, keep bringing people over. Thanks. Alright, well the community was pretty straightforward with the advice for OP, and OP is gonna do something about it, save to move out. So let's move on to the update to see how the story ends. I honestly cannot believe how quickly things escalated, and I'm sorry for not updating sooner, but I've been ridiculously stressed and busy with what happened. So following the advice posted, I continued bringing over my now boyfriend and ignoring them if they bitched about it. Things came to a huge head last week, and I've spent the last week dealing with the fallout. Last Saturday, he came over and we were going to have an early night so we could do some hiking in the morning. My roommates were drinking with their friends, playing Xbox and making loads of noise. So I went out and asked if they could keep it down. I honestly thought they were fine. Me and him were able to sleep until 4 AM when one of them burst into our room with an effing baseball bat and started smashing crap. He was screaming things about how I had embarrassed him in front of his friends when I didn't have the decency to shut up, calling me a floozy and a floozy. I thought he was going to kill me, but my boyfriend jumped up and started trying to restrain him. The other roommate ran in and started helping. My boyfriend got smacked in the nose and blood was running everywhere. I was on the phone with the police by this point. They came and he was arrested. My boyfriend had to go to the hospital. Tim had broken his nose, and about $350 worth of damage was done to my belongings. The other roommate has not stopped apologizing to me non-stop about how he didn't realize that the crazy roommate was that bad. And he was just trying to back up an old friend, but he said my boyfriend is welcome anytime. Me and my boyfriend have a restraining order against my crazy roommate, and the police came with him as he moved all of his crap, and we've gotten the locks changed. I'm still looking at moving out as soon as possible, and I'm staying most nights at my boyfriend's. I'm struggling to sleep because I'm sure someone's gonna burst into the room. I can't believe I could misjudge someone so much. Wow, well, as you say, OP, that did escalate really quickly. I'm sorry your boyfriend got hurt, but the good thing is that this guy got arrested and hopefully there'll be restitution for your property. I also hope that you have no problem finding a new place and that you can move soon. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.